Good day everyone, my name is Chin from Gutu. Ha 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 ha. Before we start, let me introduce my group members. Our leader is Jiu Mohao, following are me, Qing Shui, Liao Sheni, and Lim Yiwei. The content that will be covered in this presentation video is the introduction of H3PL, the selection of picking strategies and equipment that we choose, the order picking process of the warehouse, the justification of order picking method, and finally will be the conclusion. Let's start with introduction of H3PL. H3PL is a third-party logistics provider which specializes in warehouse storage, and their core customers are manufacturers who produce the products in batch, and the products are usually homogeneous and large in quantities. Due to the pandemic of COVID-19, the demand of face masks and hand sanitizer has greatly increased, so that H3PL has decided to build an extension to its existing warehouse buildings. As the picture shown in the slide, the extension building height will be 15 meters, and the storage space is 200 meter length, and the storage area will be 100 meter width. H3PL has decided to use pallet racking system in their warehouse. Therefore, we have selected compact racking system for them. This is because compact racking system is a high-density storage system which can reduce the truck berth sizes. Due to the reason of the characteristic of product that H3PL store, we have decided to use drive-through racking system for them. This is because first-in, first-out racking system is more suitable for those products that have expiry dates. Meanwhile, drive-through racking system are able to complete first-in, first-out tasks because it has both sides to load and unload the goods, which is the back side of load the pallets and the front side is for unloading the pallets. Compact racking system has divided to two parts, which is drive-in and drive-through. And the biggest difference between them is one is last in first out and another is first in first out. As H3PL has decided to choose 1.2 meter length and 1 meter width pallets, we decided to choose heavy-duty plastic pallets, which able to fulfill the requirement of H3PL. It also environment friendly and able for both racking and stacking. From the information and the requirement that provided by H3PL, we have calculated the total pallet capacity of the warehouse, which is 50,901 pallets. However, this calculation is a rule of thumb, as several factors still need to be considered. And I would like to pass the presentation to my members.
Selection of picking strategy and equipment is important to build a warehouse. This includes the picker operation, order operation, handling equipment, and picking operation. The selection of picker is the one of the picking strategy that determines how the goods will be moved into the warehouse, so that our group is decided to make a combination of goods to picker system and picker to goods system in the warehouse order picking process. Picker to goods system is the traditional methods that operate the warehouse activity. It requires picker to travel through the warehouse either on foot, with a cage or trolley, or with a pallet or fork truck, collecting items until the whole order is picked. The reason of choosing picker to goods system because it can improve in business seasonality. By using the pickers to goods system, H3PL can optimize productivity by adding or removing labor as needed. Besides that, it also contributes to low capital expenditure. By using picker to goods system, capital expenditure can be reduced because it requires less automation, equipment, and software. Next, we look at the goods to picker process. Goods to picker process is a modern picking method that used in the warehouse today. Goods to picker system is a picking method in which inventory is automatically and dynamically provided. Material handling technology feeds articles directly to the pickers in the process. The reason of choosing goods to picker process because it can increase efficiency due to the items being delivered directly to workers, packer, and employee no longer have to move between pallets racks. Besides that, it also can improve the productivity optimization. This is because goods to picker system can reach up to 5 800 lines per hour depending on the operation. Next, we move on to the selection of order operation. The selection of order operation is one of the picking strategy that determine how the picker will complete their picking duty in the warehouse.
Hi, my name is Lim Yiwei. Now I'm going to talk about the selection of handling equipment. So selection of handling equipment is determined on what mechanical devices to be used for load or unload and move of goods by the pickers in the warehouse. Our first equipment is the Ranger Intralogistic Robot, aka the Ranger IL. This is a type of AMR robot which produced by the Grey Orange company, and it could be moved automatically without any marks or tutorial. The first reason is the size of robot. With the dimension of the robot is the 1300 is for the length, 900 for the width, and the 465 millimeters for the height. This robot is vertically higher than the pallet jack, and also with the width of 0.8 meters, it can be walked along with 3 meters as well. The next reason is the pallets capacity. This robot is up to 2,205 pounds, which approximately to 1,000 kgs. The height of the goods on the pallets is 1.2 meters, and it's considerate of half of the pallets at 500 kgs. So this robot is more than enough for us. The next reason that we choose is because of the intelligence navigations. This robot is installed with the sensors, and it could be navigate new road if something's blocked their way. Our second equipment is the Toyota RRE 250H high-capacity reach truck. Reach truck is a type of forklift which requires the operator to drive in the rack for load and unload. The first reason is the width of size. The width of this reach truck is 1.27 meters, and the width of walk through the shafts is between 1.3 meters to 1.4 meters. This allows the reach truck to travel within the frame. Also, 3 meters of axle width is allowed 2 trucks move at the same time, which one to the front and one to the back. The second reason is the payload's capacity. This reach truck is reached to 4,500 pounds, which approximately to 2,041 kgs. This is more than enough for us since the goods is only with 500 kgs. The third reason that we choose is because of the lift capacity. This reach truck has the tallest mast of all the reach trucks, which is 13.72 meters. The 13.12 meters is for the egg level height rack after combining all the provided information. So this reach truck is able to lift the loads to the higher level to get most out of the rack. Next is the selection of picking operations, which determines on how the pickers will identify the order items. We decided to choose RFID, which is the radio frequency identification. RFID is unique identified in items with using the radio waves. The data is exchanged between the tags and the readers, and depending on the frequencies may or may not by requires the line of sight. Next is RFID frequencies. We decided to use the ultra-high frequency RFID. This is because of inexpensive and longer range. It also allows to identify several hundred tags per second and also reduce the total travel times of the labor. Now I'm going to talk about the RFID tags. We decided to choose the passive tags. This is because the storage warehouse is less dependent on the real-time data. There are two types of passive tags. The first one is the basic passive tags, which worth 40 cents per tag, is for the paper or non-metal and liquid material. The second is the metal passive tags, which costs 4 ringgit per tag, is for the metal material. Next is the RFID reader. We decided to use the Zebra RFD 8500 Bluetooth handheld UHF RFID sled. These RFID readers can be paired with electronic devices to process the RFID tag reads. And this reader is cost around 6,000 ringgit. Now I'm going to pass to the next presenter.
Hi, I'm Dimo Hao. I will talk about order picking process. The order picking process combines all the things my teammates have selected just now. It can be divided into 3 steps. Step 1. Receive order and key in data. When an order comes into warehouse management system, the operator will key in the data into 2 systems. One is the intralogistic robot system. The intralogistic robot has a system that links from the cloud data center through the core network. The robot will interpret the data and command by the system itself. Another one is the RFID system. Once the data key into RFID system, the labor will receive a pick list in their handheld RFID reader. Therefore, the process will be started. Step 2. Pick the order item. Once the pick is received by the label, they will use RFID reader to easily identify which zone an order item is in. That's because the ultra high frequency RFID that we use can read out to a range of 100 meters. After identifying the order by RFID reader, picker will drive the high capacity reach truck to unload the pallet from the rack. Step 3. Move the item to dispatch area. At this phase, we replace manpower with a robot to move the item in the warehouse. After the reach truck unloads the pallet from the rack, they don't have to drive the vehicle inside the whole warehouse. Instead, they just need to put the unload pallet in the loading area for the intra-logistic robot to move the order item to desired location. And these 3 steps is a big picture of our order picking method. Next, I will explain some justification on our picking method based on 3 areas: the ROI, the ergonomy and green issue, and the long-term strategy. The ROI and payback period is basically evaluate how well an investment has performed and how much you can get back from the investment. This is important when someone invests heavily in a project. For example, a project like intra-logistic robot and RFID technology. These 2 projects will definitely have a higher ROI because they can maximize the efficiency of the entire warehouse process and bring even more profit into company, especially for RFID that has been used for the past decade. A lot of examples have proved that RFID technology is a super beneficial for a warehouse. The second area is the ergonomy and green issue. This area purpose is to enable workers to perform tasks as comfortable as possible and also considering environment friendly. For ergonomic, Ranger intra-logistic robot, forklift, and the use of RFID are able to reduce the burden of the warehouse workers. It's also easy and comfortable to use. All the layout of warehouse and racking systems are also designed based on the safety of labor. For the green issue, we replace the gasoline and petrol vehicle with a robot. It will greatly reduce the use of petrol in the warehouse. We also replace the traditional paper picking method into RFID technology, which could also reduce the use of paper. The last area, the long-term strategy. Long-term strategy is not only ROI, but also considering other factors. For example, the cost of error will greatly reduce by using autonomous process in their warehouse. That's because autonomous method is more accurate. Suppliers are more likely to collaborate with H3PL company. As conclusion, we offer the best option for H3PL company to maximize their warehouse performance efficiency and also optimize the warehouse spaces. Although there's still a number of ways to automate the warehouse process, we don't take into account because of high maintenance fee and also super high cost of investment, and it's not suitable for a storage warehouse. Therefore, our selection is the best. This video has come to the end. Thank you for your listening. That's all from Group 2. Ha 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 ha.